afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us today. I'm Jenny Montgomery. We're beginning with Piedmont Augusta Foundation and the positive difference it strives to make in our community, for patient assistance to employee scholarships to vital equipment purchases. The Jernigan Memorial Golf Tournament is just a month away. It raises funds to help provide better care for Piedmont Augusta patients. Past tournaments have supported the stroke program, NICU, and the Jernigan Cancer Center. This year, funds raised will support Piedmont's colorectal cancer program. You're looking now at video from last year's event. The tournament is named after Harry W. Jernigan Jr., who founded the University Healthcare Foundation in 1978. Of course, it's now the Piedmont Augusta Foundation. Each year, the foundation strives to meet various health needs in the community, and this year, the focus is colorectal cancer. CRC is the second leading cause of cancer death, with the fastest growing group being those under 45, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes with Dr. Barry Jenkins. But first, we're talking about the Jernigan Memorial Golf Tournament with the Executive Director of Philanthropy at Piedmont Augusta Foundation, and Catherine Murray. And Catherine, great to have you back with us again.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
And we are looking forward to wonderful weather for that first Monday in May.
Of course.
No hurricanes, no cancellations like we had to cancel Miracle Mile Walk. It's
Don't
going to
even
go
go
off
there,
without a
Jenny.
hitch, right? It's going to go off without a hitch. You know, the Jernigan Memorial has a long history in this community, and you're changing it up a little bit this year. How's it going to be different?
Yes, thank you for asking about that. Yes, so we'll of course have our wonderful time out there at Woodside Plantation.
Mm-hmm.
Either folks will either be playing on the Reserve Club courses or the Woodside Country Club courses. But in the past, we've come together at the end of the events and everybody's gathered for barbecue and the awards and some discussion and raffle. And we decided that in interest of everybody's time and really wanting to make sure that we had a chance to really talk about the why, that we're not going to have that after event, but instead on Sunday evening or late afternoon of May 4th, we're going to have an opening celebration at a really cool place called Greystone Preserve, which is a property of the Central Savannah River Land Trust.
Right, yeah.
And it's beautiful outdoor venue with a pavilion. And we'll have Low Country Boil catered by Midtown Tavern.
Okay.
We'll have live music from the Mason Jars. We're going to have a really cool kind of high-end auction, which will also be online. So we'll be announcing that soon as well.
Great.
But the most important thing is that we'll be having some inspirational words from both colorectal cancer caregivers and patients, which is the reason we're all raising money this time.
Yeah, when you say the why, that's what the why is. Yeah,
exactly.
And I think that's a great idea to have those folks there who really bring it home and make people understand, you know, why you're doing it and what the funding supports. And the other thing is, you can still support the cause and not be a golfer. You can come to that celebration on Sunday night and not golf the next day.
That's exactly right, Jenny. So we wanted to open this up for folks who may not want to play golf, but really want to get behind the why. And so you can order individual tickets to this event for $75 on our website or call our office to get them. And it's a chance for even if you are playing in the tournament the next day, you may want to come out and bring your partner, spouse, friends, buddies, whomever with you. And it's not too long. It starts at 5:30. It's over by 8, and get a great chance to be outdoors with friends, but also hear about what we're trying to do here with the foundation.
I love it. That's a great idea. Now, the day of the tournament, that Monday, the registration is open, and so you can go ahead and sign up. You can sign up a team. How does that work?
That's right. You can go to our website or call our office, and you can register as a team. You can register as a sponsor, and there are various levels of sponsorship, which include various numbers of teams. You could be a whole sponsor if you're not interested in playing with the team, but you want to get something out about your company. So anywhere from the $500 level and up, we have opportunities for sponsorships.
That's wonderful. So sponsors, so pay attention to that. If you want to get your name out there and be a sponsor, jump online and find out more about it. And like you said, great entry level for a company.
Exactly.
Many different levels that they can support.
And I think this speaks to so many people because the fund that we've created a new fund for colorectal cancer. So this
Okay.
fund is actually helping folks who are under or uninsured pay for the treatment that they need between their diagnosis and the surgery. So imaging, labs, that kind of thing, and then aftercare. So this is really important for folks because, as you'll hear, we've got quite a rate of colorectal cancer out there.
And that's where the foundation steps in, because you are really trying to optimize care in our community.
Yes, exactly. So we really hope that people will come out because this cause speaks to them. We've been able to raise money, as you mentioned, at a significant level for our various causes, and this one is so important and new.
That's terrific. And you can donate online, you can sign up online, and as Ann Catherine said, even if you aren't a golfer and you're not going to play in the tournament, come out and join in on the celebration the night before. Ann Catherine Murray, wonderful to have you here as always. And here's the information once more for you to see on your screen about the Jernigan Memorial Golf Tournament. The 2025 Jernigan Memorial Golf Tournament will be held Monday, May 5th, with an opening celebration on Sunday, May 4th. Registration is now open. For more information, contact the foundation at 706-667-0030 or email foundation@piedmont.org. Proceeds benefit Piedmont Augusta's colorectal cancer program. Stay with us. We'll talk with Dr. Barry Jenkins about CRC after the break. Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking about Piedmont Augusta Foundation's upcoming 39th annual Jernigan Memorial Golf Tournament, with funds raised going to support colorectal cancer patients at our community hospital, Piedmont Augusta. It has the largest group of colorectal surgeons in the region, and they want everyone to be screened appropriately to prevent colorectal cancers. Piedmont's Chief Medical Officer is colorectal surgeon Dr. Barry Jenkins. I'm so glad you're here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your time. This is such an important mission. It's such an important cancer to talk about, and the funds that are being raised through this tournament, because colorectal cancer now, I think it's the second leading cause of death for cancers. Isn't it also one of the most treatable if it's caught early?
It is. So it's the second leading cause of death behind lung cancer and the fourth most common cancer overall in the United States. Unlike many of the other cancers, it can actually be cured or even prevented if screening is done early, because we can actually find polyps before they turn into cancer, which is a pretty unique situation and just screams of the importance of screening.
And the screening really isn't bad. I mean, the prep day is the hard part of that screening.
Yeah, it's the one nobody wants to talk about. And there are a couple of options for screening. Colonoscopy, which you're referring to, is still the gold standard, because you can both identify or diagnose and then often treat if you find a polyp that can be removed with colonoscopy. There are other screenings you can do.
Yeah, you see the commercials.
That's right. There's some home tests that you can do. And really what we recommend is that each person's indications are a little bit different. It's important that they talk to their primary physicians about which is most important for them.
When you're talking about some of the indications, I mean, are there symptoms that would lead people to a doctor like that?
Yeah, so unfortunately, colon cancer usually does not present with symptoms until it's too late to prevent it or even sometimes treat it early. It's usually in later stages when you have symptoms.
Oh, so that's why you hear when people say they have it, they'll say it's a stage 3 or it's a stage whatever.
That's right. We usually find it for the early ones through screening.
Yeah.
And so usually once people start to have symptoms, then it's usually progressed further and is still often treatable, but certainly much more difficult.
Yeah, a lot harder for the patient at that point.
Right.
For sure. Isn't it true that the screening guidelines are changing a little bit and the age to start screening?
Right. Yeah. So what people have been familiar with in our country for many, many years was that you start at 50.
Right.
In the last decade, those have gradually changed. We now recommend starting screening at age 45. Again, for most people, it's really important to know your family history. So you need to talk to your parents, your grandparents, your siblings about this, because different things in a family history can sometimes trigger the need for earlier screening.
Even earlier than 45.
Even earlier than 45. But for general population of patients, age 45 is when you want to start. And we don't worry as much about how you get screened as that you get screened. Whether it's colonoscopy or one of the home stool test kits, it's just important that people get screened.
Okay, okay. Really, really important. And you've talked now about those different screenings that are available. What happens after a colonoscopy? If you get, do you get a letter in the mail that says, you know, all good, or do you find out the day of the treatment, the screening itself?
Yeah, so, you know, the beautiful thing about colonoscopy is we at least know if we find polyps after. So if you have nothing, you know, in a perfectly clean colon, then we can tell you we'll see you in 10 years unless something changes.
Yeah.
If we find polyps, then we would generally tell you, you know, this is what we found. We think it's worrisome or not worrisome. And then we would have a follow-up letter and phone call with those results afterwards.
Okay, okay. But you are right, because you're seeing it on a screen as you do it.
That's right.
Yeah, and I guess we thank Katie Couric for that.
That's right.
Because she did that years and years ago.
Certainly brought a lot of attention to the importance of screening, yes.
Good. And like you said, it's one of the cancers that's awkward to talk about.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And it's important to raise awareness about it. And I love it how the Jernigan Foundation tournament, the Jernigan Memorial Tournament helps to do that and to shed light on the different diseases that the funds are going to help support.
Right. Yeah, we're really excited that we've sort of partnered this cause with the Jernigan this year. Because again, to be a cancer that is preventable if you have appropriate screening, still about a third of people who are eligible for screening do not get screened in time. And sometimes there are barriers to that, and so the funds that we'll raise through the Jernigan will certainly help that group of patients. You know, we're fortunate over the last 2 decades, the incidence of colorectal cancer has gone down in this country. With the one exception, in the group of patients under 40, we've actually seen a 90% increase in the incidence of cancer. And we don't know why those younger patients are getting it. There are a lot of theories out there, but what we do know is a healthy diet, particularly a high fiber diet, healthy lifestyle with exercise and just general taking good care of yourself, avoiding smoking, too much alcohol, those type things are associated with lower risks of cancer.
Such important information. Dr. Barry Jenkins, thank you so much for being here with us today. One more time, here's the information about the golf tournament. The 2025 Jernigan Memorial Golf Tournament begins with an opening celebration Sunday, May 4th, and golf play the next day. For more information, call 706-667-0030. Registration is now open.